Hello, welcome to Weatse Allotments. It's Friday the 5th of September 2014 and we're in my new greenhouse. I've been telling you I was going to build it the last couple of weeks, and I finally had a few hours yesterday and built the frame and sheeted it in this polycarbonate, twin wall polycarbonate plastic, substitute for glass. It's a bit cheaper than glass as well, and if you're going to fall through it, you ain't going to cut yourself to ribbons. That's the reasoning behind not having the glass. Now, the total cost of this greenhouse, the frame, I got it in a clearance in a B&Q for 30 quid. The retail with the glass in them just short of, I think it's 500 quid. If I wanted the glass, it would have cost me 150 quid. It was like 120 quid for the glass to cover this. It's an 8x6 greenhouse, but like I say, I didn't want glass, and there was a perfect alternative to that on eBay. Like I say, it's twin wall polycarbonate. It's 4x2. Or for you metric heads out there, it's 1220 by 610, and it's a 5mm sheets thickness, and yeah, that's what it's clad in. And that cost a total of £75 on top of the £30 for the greenhouse, and I spent £5 on the scaffolding planks there. It took 5 scaffolding planks to make the base, and I were very fortunate. My mate Bernard, who's got the allotments where you walk onto the site, I was going up to B&Q. He said, "Where you off?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to B&Q to get myself some paving stones. So I need about 5 or 6 of them for the path inside the greenhouse." He says, "Oh, I don't have to go very far. How big do you want them?" I said, "Well, they've got to be at least 450 millimetres wide, basically." He said, "Oh, there you go, there's 5 of them for you." I said, "I haven't got another one." So, but 5 should get you somewhere. Anyhow, comes in, lays them down. I'll show you the camera work in a minute. I'll show you how the path runs. And I was about 210 milli short. Another friend of mine, Wendy and Jim, who's got a plot 2 plots down for me, and looking at the greenhouse, says, "You've done absolutely fantastic there." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm just a bit short there." She said, "Oh, hang on." So I bet I've got a piece what'll fit there. Bugger me, it was the right size, exact size. I couldn't believe it when she brought it. So it's fully paved. That cost me absolutely nothing. Now at the moment, there's no soil in here at all. All it is, I placed the greenhouse on the wood chip. I've wood stained the scaffolding planks, and the reason why I'm using scaffolding planks is because I can actually, when they rot down, I can actually replace them individually because they're screwed together. But what I've got to do, I've got some 2-inch angle outside, in my shed. What I've got to cut down to about 2 foot, and what I'm going to do is bang it into each corner and then screw that into the scaffolding planks. But then after that, I've got to get some plastic and I've got to staple it all the way around the perimeter, so when I put the soil in, it doesn't rot the scaffolding planks. I might, when I take the camera off in a minute, I'll show you. The weird thing about how this greenhouse come about, I mean, up to 2 weeks ago, no greenhouse. In fact, about a week and a half ago, it was not even thinking of a greenhouse. What happened was I was given a 1,000 litre water butt. I've already got one at the bottom of the plot. I think everyone's probably seen it on my other videos. It's a metal one, but this one I was given was plastic, but it had no valve. Now I was looking online. Well, I thought I'll look online. I seen them online. It was about 5-6 quid. So I thought, here's my chance. I go to B&Q and see if they've got one. Save me having to wait a couple of days. And that's where I went in there and I saw this greenhouse on sale for 30 quid. I didn't get the valve for the tank for the 1,000 litre water tank in B&Q, but I ordered that online, and I got it. Well, it was 3 days after I ordered it. It turned up in the post. It fits perfectly. It's a 2-inch screw. So all you guys on the allotments there, what are wondering what them square 1,000 litre water butts, what the attachment that you can get for them to reduce them so you can put a tap on them, the 2-inch, that's the diameter of the unit that goes onto it. And you can also, what I got the unit, and I actually got the tap as well. I haven't fitted it on the water butt yet, because I still need a couple more pallets. If I can't get the pallets that I want, I'm going to leave it and just fill it with water, and just basically what it's there for. It's outside the other greenhouse. It's stop me having to keep walking to the tap up halfway up the allotments. I mean, I can't walk at the best of times, so I'm thinking of making it a lot easier for myself, like outside the door there. Hang on, we can just span this camera around here now. You can see my car just parked outside the greenhouse. That's where the actual where I get out the car, and I've got my shed. I've got the greenhouse here, and I've got the shed straight facing me, so I can go in and out of these two all the time. But I have got another greenhouse halfway down my plot. I'll show you that in a bit as well. The thing is, there's a water butt here, so I don't need another one here, but I do need another water butt halfway down the plot. It saves me having to keep watering, or having to water water tap, and I only have to do it once, and I take the hose from the tap halfway up the allotments, top up my tanks. I normally do that anyhow, probably once a week, but with this 1,000 litre water butt, I won't have to do it for about 2 months. So yeah, so I was really lucky with the greenhouse. Like I say, this polycarbonate is just as good as anything else. What else have I been up to? Well, basically that's it. I did do a bit of wood chipping on the bottom of the plot as well to tidy it up a bit. We're starting to get a bit sorry, the wood chip's starting to rot down a little bit. It'd been 6 months since it was last done, and I was very fortunate. The guy who was doing the wood chip, who brings the wood chip, he normally drops it up at the other end of the site. Well, I saw him, I seen the wood chip. I've been waiting for this particular type of wood chip because there's not so much leaves in it. I said, is there any chance of you dropping it on my plot, mate? He says, yeah, no problem. So what I did is I dropped, I put a big blue sheet down outside, and he dropped it on that. So it was like basically 2 yards from the plot base where he dumped it, so I didn't have to go traipsing up and down. And my mate Jim helped me. He wheelbarrowed it, and I raked it to give me an hand light. So that was done. I did. Everyone's been. I don't know if you seen the last video. I was showing you the pictures of all the flags that are going up everywhere, all over the sites. It's like, honestly, it's like the United Nations on here. So I thought, well, should I or shouldn't I? And the secretary, well, actually the chairman's going, come on Mark, get a flag up there, mate. He says, what you like? I said, alright, I'll put a flag up. He says, doesn't have to be any particular one. He said, oh, whatever you like. Yeah. So when we go out, I'll show you the flag that I stuck up. Oh dear. So we're going to spin the camera around the new greenhouse. Like I say, it cost me £110. Now the other one down the bottom cost me the same money, £110. The reason why that one was actually they're both the same price, but the greenhouse only cost me, that one down there only cost me 15 quid. This one cost me 30 quid. Like I say, this is brand new in the box, this one. This other one was all buggered, so I had to rebuild it. And the bits what I had to do to rebuild it come to an extra 15 quid. That's what took it to £110, the one down there. So you can get these greenhouses pretty cheap. Gumtree and Freecycle and all these sites, you can pick greenhouses up second hand for a couple of £100, depending what you're after. But like I say, I made this. I had up to last week. This greenhouse wasn't even in my head. It was just that I saw this bargain, and I like bargains. and I knew he had the stuff and I could get the stuff to do it and it'd be cheap, so I did it. So I've got more glass to grow, more tomatoes and what have you next year. Right, let's get this off this stand. Right, I'll show you first. Right, here's the, you're looking down here now, there's the path. Now the scaffolding boards come up 10 inches. So down here, you're looking at wood chip. Now I've scraped about 3 inches of wood chip off that. What I'm hoping to do is to let it dry out a bit more so I can scrape more off and put it on the paths outside, because once it's dry it's alright. It dries pretty well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a wheelbarrow of horse manure in each side, and that's where my stand is. A wheelbarrow of horse manure in either side here, and then I've got all this compost what I've been given, this free compost it's going into these particular beds. But what before I've got to do it, see the skirt, the boards, what's going round, I've got to cap that with plastic all the way around, right up to the top. What I'll do is I'll put some plastic in and staple it right along the bead, right along the edge, along here, all the way along here. Stops the wood rotting, and basically the plants will be going straight into the ground. So like I said, this is it's brand spanking new. It's even got the, I'm not kidding you, it's got this, dead easy to build these things. They're like a Lego. They are. C5 goes to where have you. And this is the polycarbonate. See the clips here? Clips on that. Obviously I had to cut this to suit, and you know, pretty handy with a Stanley knife. Cuts this like butter. Just if you're going to use a Stanley knife, I've got to tell you, use gloves, and use leather gloves so you don't chop your bloody fingers off. I hate to think you chop your fingers off. See, here's the water butt here, and that comes off this gutter in here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm putting a fence along the back. There's my car, so you know what I mean. Let's just get out the car and straight. Now this is the front of my plot. Obviously, sorry about the wind, by the way. Now here's the shed, the back of the shed. So from that post there, I'm going to put I've got to get 5 more stakes, big 3-inch stakes, and I've got to put a fence right the way along here to enclose, like George has done here on his plot. But I'm not using scaffolding planks, I'm using some proper mesh fencing. So yeah, so basically there's a greenhouse. Right, here's this flag that I've put up. Right, I put the old Jolly Roger up there. Like I say, it's at the moment it's blowing a westerly wind. It's a pretty good indicator that, to tell you which way the wind's blowing. So it's blowing from the west, blowing towards the east. This here, this is my compost bin. Now I put 3 squashes in here, and well, they're doing really well actually. I've seen the squashes. There's a nice squash there. There's one there. And so I can't really. Right, you're gonna have to trust me. But inside there's even bigger ones of them. So I finally found out what this was. There's actual squashes. Cover that up. Like I say, it's right on the front of my plot, and it's taken over. It's gone all the way around. I've actually put bricks to train this thing. It goes down here past this. See how I've got a brick there? I'm going to train it so it goes up the side of the compost bin. And the beauty of this is when it's all rots down, all that I do is put the carpet what's in there on top of it and let it rot down. This was going to be an herb bed. I'm still planning on an herb bed, and I will make an herb bed, I promise you. But I've actually got it's like a greenhouse. Well, not a greenhouse. It's like a frame with a lid on it, and it just fit perfectly here. And this, see, this is. I've got another space just here. There's a greenhouse there. Here's my shed. Like I said, my car's there, so I just walk through here to here. It's absolutely fantastic. plunk my derriere down on there. I want to show you this tap. Hang on, there's this tap what I paid £5 for. It's a crazy price from off eBay. I'll come out of here now. Sorry about the camera work, but that there is the tap. It comes with that fitting. Comes with the tap, the fitting, and that all that does, it screws onto. If you look at the down there, you can see that big white water tank. That's where it's for actually. So I might as well hide this way. So there we go. We got the. So there's the greenhouse anyhow. There's my flag. Like I say, it's like flags everywhere here. It's only mine what's blowing. It's absolutely crazy. Right, if you look here, see all the flags out, they're all flat. Every one of them's flat. Look at mine blowing. It's because of this here. There's like a gap between the trees there, and it funnels the wind through, and that's why I'm getting a bit why it's blowing. Here my strawberries. Thanks George for these strawberries, by the way. He grew these for me. There's 100 plants here. There's 50 in this bed, and there's 50 in the bed over there. Now these plants are not even 12 weeks old. These are runners. Every one of these are runners. The plants that he produced this year are absolutely fantastic. So he said he was going to grow me a load of runners. I said, well, do enough to do 2 beds, just joking. Anyhow, I did me 100. Now these things in B&Q, look at that there. That in B&Q would cost you £4. He did 100 of them. I said, what do we owe you? He says, oh, the favours you done me. He said, don't be silly. So there you go. By the way, he's Irish, and he's from the border region there in Southern Ireland. His mother had a farm, and well, he's what he doesn't know, it's not worth knowing about gardening. I get all my tips off him. Anyhow, moving on. These are my marigolds, what are looking absolutely fantastic. All the fruit's all rotted down now. I've left a load of fruit for the birds. My dahlias I need to deadhead these dahlias, so more keep coming. I'll be doing that after I finish this video. But I do love marigolds, and these are all different colours, and they've done absolutely great. I thought when I first planted them in, I thought they're going to die this lot. But no, they've done really well, and so the dahlias. I won't be leaving the dahlias in the ground. What I do is I dig these dahlias out at the end of the year and put them in sawdust in my greenhouse to protect them. I'm waiting for this one here to flower. It looks like it's going to be white. This is the last one to flower. I can't wait for it. I actually thought this plant wasn't going to grow in. I had put 8 different plants in plant pots, and I thought all the other 7's come up, but there was this last one, it didn't come up, so I just left the pot. And you know how you do, you leave it and you don't bother with it. And then I looked down 3 weeks later, and it started to throw these tiny little shoots out, so I left it. And anyhow, this particular plant is 3 weeks behind all the others. But as you can see, these dahlias here, all different colours, reds, pinks, champagnes, lovely colours. There's a look at the shed and the greenhouse together. They look pretty cool actually. And there's my compost bin at the side of that, and I've got a place there to still have little parties and barbecues there with my mates, and we can chill out. I grab a couple of chairs out of the shed, and we sit there and we can talk all afternoon. All the old timers telling the stories about what they did in the war and what have you. So a few of them could tell you what they did in the what's that, think of the bloody war there, Battle of Waterloo. There's some that old, but there you are. I'm joking, by the way, so don't take it serious. These peaches are looking alright. I think I'd pull that down, a few of these down. The squirrels got half of these. They pulled, well, in fact they got 90% of them. They pulled all the bloody lot off them. Fortunately that squirrel that did it is no more. It's a deceased squirrel. It was playing about on top of my roof, and it fell in the water but and drowned. It was when it was really cold. But yeah, it decimated the peach tree. I've still got to get a couple more, a pear, a plum and a cherry. They're the ones what have died down there, which I'm pretty gutted about. But the apples, these coxes are doing alright, and the baking apples here, they're doing fine. I've had a few whoops off there. Someone's come on and they pieced all the bloody apples off the little tree there behind me. They've left that one for they'll be next, I can tell you. These here are turnips. Obviously these are the leeks. I'll be pulling these leeks up shortly. These cone cabbage will be coming up as well, because I've got more cone cabbage to go in, but they won't be going in here because I've got club root. And I know how to cure it. I need to, when I take this out, I'm going to pile loads of lime into this bed. The only thing I'm worried about is my broccoli. So I'm going to spread a bit of lime over the top of the broccoli as well. I don't know if it's going to be wise. As long as I don't get it on the leaves, I reckon I should be okay. That's the last of me lettuce. I feed them to the chickens actually. They've bolted now, but I give them to lettuce. And these, I'm waiting for them to go to seed. This is pat choy. Once that's gone to seed, I'm going to take a few and they're going in the compost bin. And then I've got onions to go in here, winter onions. Here we're looking at, this is celeriac. I've never had it, but I've grown it, I'm growing it and it looks okay. There's about 20 plants there. Pond's looking alright, my little Zen garden, as I like to call it. Put the camera out a bit, it's a bit close up there, forgot I had it on there, so close. But again, they've got these marigolds, I need to deadhead them. I've got a few weeds coming up in amongst them as well, I've noticed, they're dead easy to pull out. The geraniums are doing alright, they're starting to die back, and again, if you cut them off, hopefully I'll get a few more flowers. But I'm going to be taking them up this year and putting them inside the greenhouse, because I didn't realise that they do come back the year after. So that's what's going to happen there, they'll be coming out of there. Or I might cover them with fleece, I don't know which would be the best. I do know I need to get this duckweed out of here because it's actually covering the cobomba. Cobomba is it's an oxygenating water plant, and basically there's about 8 or 9 carp in there. Well, we'll say carp, goldfish, koi carp, there's even tension crucian carp in there. And obviously they feed, I don't even have to put food in there. What they do, they eat all the well, basically the duckweed on the top, they eat the plants, and it's absolutely covered in shrimp, and there's all sorts of crustaceans in there. So honestly, when I've actually got my net in there and I've had a look at the goldfish to make sure they're alright, and believe it or not, they've doubled in size. So I've got another pond at home, so I'm going to be bringing that up here. I don't use it, it's about 3 times the size of that, so I'll be putting it at the front of the plot maybe. I don't know, but it might look small, but I can tell you now it's a good 2.5 foot deep with shelves on it. All these little boulders here, these are what I picked up from around the site, what people have just thrown out to one side as, you know, rocks in the soil. And I've picked them up and brought them down here and turned it into a bit of a like little Zen garden. Sometimes I can come and sit here on this particular chair when I want to be on my own and look across to the chickens. Well, like I said, that again, what you're looking at there is an old greenhouse I was given. I converted it into a chicken pen. I built the chicken coop, and for a grand total of 150 quid. I'll talk more about that in a minute, because like I say, I want to show you these the strawberries in this particular bed. Now, I've got I had a load of flowers in here the other day, and I've got strawberries, load of strawberries started to shoot up. But the trouble with these strawberries, they're heritage strawberries, and they're very small. Now, early on in the year, about a month and a half ago, I took £10 of strawberries out of this bed. I should have had more. I had £30 last year, but I took £10. And again, they put a spurt on, and I've got more flowers coming. So I don't know. It's probably because the seasons are all mixed up. And I'm getting another crop of strawberries. So yeah, that's. I was going to dig them out. I'm still thinking about digging them out, but at the moment I've got other things to do. My sweet corn be ready for pulling in a bit. My my Savoy cabbage. There's a few decent ones over there. There's a couple of spring cabbage still left. Actually, there's 4 spring cabbage in there, and they're doing all right. Again, I really should have put more lime into the soil this year. I will be doing next year. I'll be piling it in. In this particular bed here, I've got carrots, 2 different. Well, obviously these ones went in about 2 weeks before these ones here, and the slugs got at that end, but they've actually started to come. I've actually started to pull through again. I've got more carrots coming up there, and then I've got Swedes here. These are Swedes. There's 2 rows of Swedes. Them are the Swedes, and then there's 2 rows of beetroot, and then there's 2 different varieties of sweet pea climbing up that frame again. This is another lot what I've started. So I mean, you can keep it going all year round, really. It's just I like doing silly experiments. Come around here to the celery. This celery is really well. I mean, oh, by the way, this is these are globe artichokes. I won't be getting any bulbs on them until next year, around about July, I reckon. But they're putting on a pace. I'll come down here and I'll show you. I've got to be careful here because there's bloody nettles. I mean, look at them there. Absolutely fantastic. I'll be digging them out, digging a few out and giving them away shortly. Another little apple tree there, what I've saved. There's the water butt. That's the other water butt what feeds this part of the plot. I've got some collies here as well, what I've put in. They seem to be doing alright. The Savoy cabbage are not doing too clever. Like I say, there's a few dead. There's a D. That one's going to be alright. It's starting to get an art on it. Another one with an art, another one. So there's a few with arts, and they'll probably fill this part up. But these ones here, they're about a bowling ball size, and these are little cabbage. I will be taking them home. I've already took, well, there was about 30 in there. There's only 4 left now, and there was a small one, so I've left them to come up. Here's the paths, like I say, did the wood chipping. No weeds on the paths at all. You just keep putting a bit of wood chip down every 6 months. You don't need membrane and all this crap they tell you on these garden shows. Put membrane down, you won't get your weed coming up. You do, and it comes up through the sides. Where you're going to get the weeds coming up on these paths? They're right along these boards here. And what happens is the birds peck at the birds and they pull the wood chip away, and they leave like little pockets of soil, and that's where you get the plant growth coming up. So as long as the boards are covered, you shan't have any problem. Right, so we're back looking now at the final thing, the chickens. Like I say, I've got 8 Nova Browns. I bought them from a place called Sycamore Farms in well, it's just off junction 19 on the M6, Knutsford. They're only about £5.65 a bird. Like I said, I built all this for next to nothing. Altogether it come to £150, and that's with that chicken coop there. I built that myself. You've got nest boxes at the back, little ramp to go up, ventilation and all that lot. It's even got a little glass window in it as well. The up and coming weeks, I've got my brother, he's building me what do you call them, a light system which runs off solar power. So that'll be going up. I'll be putting that on the roof, so there'll be a little light inside the chicken coop at night, because when it starts getting dark nights, they're going to need a bit of light. And the thing is, the more light you give a chicken, they'll lay eggs, because basically that's what they need. They need light to actually produce the eggs. So that's the reason why I'm going to be putting a light in there. I was going to put a solar heater in there as well. I haven't got round to doing it. I've got the materials to do it. That's another thing I can show you. The solar heater, how it works is it's to do with cans. You need a load of baked bean cans. You need a little half volt fan, well, probably what you get in a computer. Again, bit of solar power to turn the fan. Bit of glass, and what happens is the sun eats the glass up, eats the cans up. You spray the cans black, by the way. That eats them up. The fan pushes the heat through the cans into the chicken coop, so you're getting warm air all the time going into the chicken coop. It's thermodynamics. It's a bit complicated. You need to see it to appreciate just how simple it really is. Well, I'll be showing you that once I get round to it, and it's coming up to that time now, because I don't want my birds freezing to death in the winter. Way up, they're going nuts there. little devils they are. Come to here and they all run to the front and think they're getting something. Now just give them 2 lettuces. Very inquisitive, aren't you girls? Just make sure my water butt's filled up, because I'm fishing tomorrow at a place called Blake Call. Plenty of feed in there. Yeah, that's topped up. Right, I'm going to leave these to it. They go in at the night time, but when it starts getting darker nights, I'll be locking them up and opening them up in the morning. Yeah, posing for the camera, this one. 8 of them I've got, and over browns. Egg a day. Fantastic. They're only young as well. They're about, I'd say they're about 35, 40 weeks old now, these. Coming up to a year old. Right, just show you this. This is some stuff what I'm going to be using to cover my beds. I'll be putting netting over it. I've got a bit of that. Actually I bought it, only cost me £3 for all that. It's on a car boot. Don't know where he pinched it from, but for £3 I can't moan. Got some scaffolding bars there. Might do something with them, I don't know yet. Rhubarb. Lots of rhubarb along here. Might take some of that home tonight. Like I said, this is another blackberry bush. Got some paving stones there, freebie-twos. I might come in handy them shortly. Leaving all these berries on here for the birds. Could we get loads of blue tits and goldfinches and what have you, and they feed on these through the year, so it's a store for them. This is the bit that I don't normally show people. This is where I've got mesh. It's a bit of a mess around here. Couple of pallets. These pallets are no good though. I need actually bigger ones. These are only these pallets. I'm hoping to swap them for my next door neighbour. He's got one big pallet. What is the right size? So what I might do is ask him, does he want these 2 for the one he's got? I'm sure he's going to say yeah, because these are a lot better knit than the ones he's actually using at the moment. And the reason why I need it is to raise the water butt up here. Let me show you. Let's look at the water butt and the other greenhouse. And all these paths look pretty cool actually. So again, I've saved myself loads of work. I'm going to have absolutely nothing to do in the winter except for watch more plants grow. I'm going to try and keep the plants growing all year round if I can. See them 2 pallets there? I need to get a couple more pallets about that size now. My buddy, he's got a load of pallets there, and there's one what might just do. This over here. In them bags there's compost. I'm going to be putting that compost in the new greenhouse. All this here in these bags is all compost. All my chilies as well. These chilies they're all ripened now. Chilies, and there's sweet peppers. Yeah, I'll be taking some of them home. I've got more leeks here. They're looking a bit sorry for themselves, but these leeks are a lot better. So I think I'll be using. I always do 2 lots, and I pick the best ones. You never know, I might be able to use them ones there. I just pick the best ones out of them. Like I say, all these tubs here, these will all be tidied up shortly. I've actually them there are chilies. That bigger chili. There's 2 different varieties of chili there. Actually, there's 3 different varieties of chili there. and you know, I can't name any one of them at the moment. But yeah, but them chilies there, the seeds are off that orange one. So I'll be seeds for next year. Always, cause you get 6 seeds in a pack and they cost you like £3. Crazy. Grapevine. There's my grapevine. All the way along here, it's doing really well. I need to know about this grapevine. What do I do? What do I cut off it? Maybe someone can tell me in the titles below. Like I say, it's all green growth. There's no dead wood or out like that, and this is all fresh stuff. I mean, it's what you're looking at here. All this is grown in 3 months. This is 3 months of growth. This. So they say cut the dead wood off, but there's no dead wood. Like I say, I've had no fruit. Well, I had a little bunch of fruit off it at the bottom, and they were absolutely lovely and sweet. So, like I say, 3 months. It's about. It's back here now. It's coming. It's actually come back along here. So it's gone all the way to the end. And I've turned it on itself, as you can see there, turning round, and it's coming back this way. So there you go. That's the green. This is the old greenhouse. Again, this costs £110. So there we go, folks. There's the tour. Bring you back up to the new greenhouse, and we'll leave it there for this one. Saying that, there's a couple more projects I've got on the boil, and I'll let you know more when they come along. Oh, and another thing, I didn't do the video of me building the greenhouse, but I did take pictures. So what I'm going to try and do is put a load of pictures together on splice them together in that movie maker, see if I can see if I can actually do something with it, and it shows you just how simple it really is. Like I say, that took to build that from scratch, from nothing. It took 3 hours to see what you see there. 3 hours it took to make that. So they're not really hard as well to build, but I'll show you. Like I said, I took pictures. I'd love to have done the video, but like I said, I can't use that movie maker. It's a bit too much faffing about for me, so I tend to do all these videos in one take. So if there's any mistakes, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm sure you point them out to me. Oh, just one last thing. One of my YouTube subscribers, he said, I think it's Gavin or Keith, or so I forget his name now. He was asking me, he says, these bottles, so why have you got them on your on the end of your canes? Well, there's 2 reasons. You just heard that rattle, and that scares birds away, but it also stops you. I think I mentioned in the last video, also stops you losing your eye on that. If you look down there, you can't see that, and you bend down to pick a bit of stuff up out of your bed, you get that straight through your eye. But if that's on it, what you're going to do, you're going to get a black eye, aren't you? I soon have a black eye or no eye at all, so that's why I put them on. Plus if you fall on them, you can get the canes go straight through your body, so it makes perfect sense. And that's what on all the canes, what you can see here, all along the top, even on the back, they're there for a reason. They're there to stop people hurting themselves. That's what that's all about. Alright, see you all soon. Bye for now.